Whew! What a great episode. Choose Yourself, the James Altucher story, Episode 5, all about the concept of stupidity. And not just stupidity, but being the smartest person in the room or being the dumbest person in the room and what that phrase even means, combined with the idea of, how the overestimation of your own intelligence can be a hindrance to your potential success. And here's an interesting thing is James Altucher talks about the concept in this episode, which I absolutely love because it has helped paint the concept of being the smartest person in the room and what that means in a new light. And, for those of you who haven't heard it before, or those of you who, are like, you want to get on the same page, I'm going to share my definition of that is in the idea that, you don't want to be the smartest person in the room, because if you are the smartest person in the room, there's a quote that says, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're probably in the wrong room. And basically what I took away initially is that that's the idea of, you want to be in a room with good, smart, intelligent people who, want to be moving in the same direction as you. And of course, intelligence can be subjective because people are smart in all different types of things. One person might be very smart in chopping wood and they could create this masterpiece of wood furniture, while another person is very smart in car engineering and they can diagnose a car problem with just one or couple tools. And those people have completely different skills. Now, if the wood person is in a car of like engineers or engine designers or car manufacturers, he's probably not going to be smart in that area. He's going to be learning a lot. He's going to be not the smartest person in the room, so he's probably in the right room in that area if he wants to learn about engines. And if the engine person or the mechanic or the engineer is in the room with the people who are the wood craftsmen of the world, they're going to be not the smartest person in the room in terms of wood. They're going to be the smartest person in terms of engines probably, but they're also going to be in a room where they have an opportunity to learn. So that's where I think that smartest person in the room comes in handy. And, that's just to get us on the same page. But overall, this is an amazing episode because James Altucher brings up a whole other host of examples and ideas of why it's such a valuable concept of not accepting stupidity, but the concept of not overestimating your own intelligence. And he shares that as an example of how his overintelligence, his belief in how smart he was, has negatively affected him. So there's lessons to be learned there. And the lessons were absolutely amazing. So I highly recommend checking out the episode. But here's one great thing that I was able to take away. Because I already had my interpretations or my definitions or my examples of what it means, what the phrase means, being the smartest person in a room, or, being around smart people who are smarter than you, or if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Like, I've already had my definitions of that. But what I really got from this episode is not just, going into a room and wondering, who's smart so you can go hang out with them, or who, if you're the smartest, or like who's dumb or whatever. Nothing like that. What I really got from this episode is this powerful concept of realizing that there are people who are going to be smarter than you in certain things. Like if you're getting into business, of course, you don't want to be in business with someone who's dumber than, well, I don't want to say you don't want to be in business with someone who's dumber than you. You don't want to be in business with someone who knows less about the business that they're in than you do. And what I mean by that is, say for example, you're going to start a business and you want to manufacture phones, mobile devices. You don't want to be in a room in a room where everybody is an expert on, making cabinets, because that company can only go as far as you've gotten, right? So, it's not so much intelligence level as it is this concept of, what is this person smart at? What is this person good at? And uncovering and realizing that people in a room can all be very, very smart at something. And it's not this like step ladder, move your way up type thing, as much as it is uh, appreciating, what other people might know and trying to uncover all of those things. Because, and the thing is, the problem can be if you're smart, you don't do those things. If you feel like you're too smart, you don't end up doing those things. You're afraid to ask questions because you might feel stupid or something. And that's just an interpretation. Now, everybody who watches this episode is going to get something so different because you're going to have different stories to take from and everything like that. But at the end of the day, you do have these two areas where, going into a room and understanding that there are going to be people that are more successful or smarter than you in many ways, whether it's not in your area of niche topic, but it might be in their area. And at the same time, it's a good approach to business and investing, as James Altucher talks about it, and I highly recommend watching the episode for yourself. There's a link in the description below to Amazon. You can watch it on Amazon Prime. But this concept that there's also this idea that when you get into business, you want to get in with somebody who knows more or is more about the topic, about the business, about a specific area, right? Because here's the thing is that you can be in business and you might be really good at finance, but you might suck at management. You might suck at branding and marketing and schmoozing to making more business deals. So there's this balance here. And when what I really took away was from James is the idea that, finding that balance and finding that, what other people are good at. And, coming from a learning perspective, because some of us might think, or at least I've thought personally, like, oh, well, I'm only here to do business, or I'm only here to talk about painting in my day, right? Like if you go to an art class or something. But at the end of the day, what it's about is finding those relationships, finding people who are smarter and, learning from them. Because there may be something in there. Say, for example, you're in a painting class, but one of your hobbies is exercise. There might be someone who's a fitness expert in that room. So there's so much to get out of this video. And regardless of what I felt I took away, I know that anybody who's watching this and even watches the show, which I would highly recommend checking out right now in the link in the description below to Amazon, checking out Choose Yourself, the James Altucher story, you're going to be virtually guaranteed to think of an example in your life or take something from the story that can be helpful and applicable to you. Because, some people might be in a place where they are, at a peak of their career and they've become very smart. They're known as an expert. And I'm not going to say let this be a warning, because people can think they're very smart and still be very successful. But at the same time, just consider the ideas and think about, what it means to overcome those peaks. Does it mean learning a new skill? Does it mean, should it be learning a new craft? Should it be engaging with someone in a completely different business line and figuring out what they want more or what the customers want or things like that? So, combined with the idea of intelligence and stupidity, I think it's also a topic of, confidence and either overconfidence or overconfidence and intelligence and things like that. So with that, be sure to like, share, subscribe, share your thoughts in the comment section below, whether you see the show or not. And with that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I'm so grateful to be able to share this video with you and have a wonderful day.